AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll get a Saints camp report in 1 hour from Ross Jackson. We tried to call on Eric McLean a week ago, but really just gave us the runaround for, no good reason whatsoever. The guy was at the hospital as his wife was giving birth to their second child. And we do welcome, of course, William Henry McLean to the world. Let's go. Beautiful baby boy. And there's baby boy right there. And Eric's good enough to join us on the show. Thanks for the time, man. Congrats to you and your family. You getting any sleep?
Man, I appreciate it very much. As you know, there's nothing like, having a baby boy, having a baby girl, and to do both in our first 2 tries is great. And, sleep's at a premium. I will say Mom is training this boy up quick, so that's good. We had our longest 4 hours, kind of stints last night, so that was good. We actually got some decent sleep last night.
Love to hear that, man. Just in time. He cooperated as well before football season, right? You had to cooperate. Make sure you get all this done. Let's get some sleep patterns in place before they tee it up and kick it off, man. Well, that's awesome. We're happy for you and your family, so congratulations. Glad mom and baby are doing well, man. That's awesome. Hey, I saw also that you recently had a chance to sit down with Dabo. And for those who don't know, of course, Eric, ACC Network, and was a team captain at Clemson, so great perspective. And we kind of connected a year ago before the LSU Clemson game. Did you learn anything talking to your former coach in that sit down?
I think the chip that's on his shoulder is pretty insurmountable. I mean, it's he's feeling the disrespect. He's feeling I don't even want to call it heat because I don't think it's that, but he is feeling this shift in people now again doubting him. And for a guy that has all the accolades, the championships, the draft picks, the wins, it's truly fascinating to me. But I do relatively understand why people and some want to do that. But he feels that, and I think he's out and wants to really prove that he's just getting going. And can they do that this year when there is very little expectation? And truly, what does that mean? But that was the biggest thing for me, man. Is this dude's as hungry as maybe he's ever been.
Give me a little perspective here, Eric, as a guy who played for Dabo. Why? And listen, my hand's in the air. I'm in the corner of I'm a doubter because Dabo, like Brian Kelly at LSU and others, seemingly have struggled to adapt to the new way in college football. Why should I not be doubting Dabo right now?
Well, in what way do you is it the transfer portal? What part is it?
Well, that's a very obvious answer, right? I mean, when there have been wholesale changes in the way people build roster using the portal, and Eric, look, that's been an evolution too, right? With collectives and then true third-party NIL and rev share, just the whole thing. But yes, that's a very obvious way to start.
Yeah, well, I think because I just don't want it to get confused with the NIL part. I know that everybody wants to use the soundbite from, multiple, I think when I was playing, when, he said, when they start paying players, I'm out of here. And I get it. And, obviously, I think he meant it a little bit differently, maybe meant from a employee standpoint, but here we still are, and he still is here. But Clemson has done a really good job of allocating the different dollars from rev share and things of that nature. So I don't think that they're, not that they're not behind, but I don't think he's behind in that realm. He certainly wants his guys to be paid. In regards to the transfer portal, man, it's just who he is. And it's funny to me, for some people, I'm not, saying you here right now, but some people are literally, killing this guy for his loyalty. The fact that he's not kicking out guys, that he's not going Coach Sarkisian and literally naming kids that they kicked off the team to make room. I mean, that's asinine to me. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, just how weird. Why would you ever want to go play for that guy? So he's on the polar opposite of that. If they or he makes a mistake in recruiting and you're not as good as he thought or they thought, that's on them. And you're going to be there till you graduate. And then they might encourage you to go after you have your degree. But so that to me is the thing. There's not enough people leaving for him to go full force like some teams do and get 40 new players a year from the transfer portal. So the adjustment from that aspect to me, although I understand, and maybe this year in particular, going to get a quarterback would have been the interesting thing. We don't know how that's going to pan out. Now, if we go this year again and Clemson is 7-6, then yeah, we'll all sit here and say this guy is crazy. Should have went and got a quarterback out of the portal. But I don't know if we're quite to that point right now.
Eric McLean's with us, ACC Network, former Clemson Tiger. He's at Eric McLean, MacLain. If you want to go give him a follow. Again, you can check it. He's linked. I'm going to retweet it as well. He's linked on his Twitter, the video, the interview with Dabo. I'll go ahead and retweet it for our followers here who are interested. You can go watch the full interview. Yeah, just did it. No doubt we appreciate it. I want to talk some ACC stuff with you while I have you, but one more on Clemson. So a year ago, we spent so much time talking about Clemson because it was a singular offseason focus of Brian Kelly's program. Like they had the Tiger Paw everywhere. They took all the other games off the schedule, and the team removed. LSU had lost 5 straight openers. It was just everything was Clemson. And that team had 11 preseason first-team All-ACC members.
Mm-hmm.
Look at from last year what they had, what's gone, and what's here. When you look at comparatively with the rosters, going into this season, where are the perceived strengths for Clemson, and what are the areas where they have question marks?
Yeah, it is so fascinating, man. Like Aaron Murray and I just did our preview episode for Clemson on Mac and Murray. That's going to come out here in a couple of days. And he and I were just so high on the Tigers. And we went back and kind of listened to that and looked at it. And we're like, golly, we sound so dumb, just because it was such a miss. And nobody could have expected that. I think a lot of people, as you just said, kind of had Clemson and LSU, even after that game, maybe it's still a playoff caliber game. And then, both kind of fell off at different parts of the season and in different ways, especially what it was expected. But when you look at this team, still a ton of talent. I mean, I think this wide receiver room is as good as anybody in the country. It's led by Bryant Wesco Jr., who is an absolute burner. That dude has serious speed and can get out. He has great size. TJ Moore, again, another guy with a chip on his shoulder, very hungry, very productive a year ago, big body wide receiver. And then kind of at the third spot, you have Tyler Brown or Naeem Burrows, two guys that are very similar in size and stature, very fast. One's a senior, one's a true freshman who's extremely electric out of the state of Florida. That kind of top 4 with maybe another freshman here or there who's going to play right away, they've got some good depth, and they all do things very differently. The offensive line is as big as Clemson has had. It's going to be interesting just to see, can they stay healthy? Because I've seen flashes from all 5 guys that are the projected starters, and they've looked really, really good. But then there's like a broken foot celebrating. There's, an ankle surgery or an elbow surgery that puts them out, and then you're just like, I just need to see more of it. So now all those guys, it's their turn, and it's not in a reserve role now. It's in a starting role, and I think they have a chance to be very, very good. But the strength of the entire team, to me, is going to be the secondary. These guys are long, they're physical. It's led by Ashton Hampton at the cornerback position. I think he's as good as anybody in the country. Truly 6'2.5", 6'3", strong, runs about a 4.3, 4.35. He's going to be electric there. But the guys they brought in, when you look at Corey Myrick, when you look at Jerome Carter, that's going to be elevators to the program that Clemson just didn't have at the safety position a year ago.
Flip side, where's the weakness?
I didn't want to talk about weakness. That's why I just overlooked it. And what you just, no,
I didn't forget.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think the interesting thing will be running back. Certainly talent there, but unproven. A year ago, I think it was mismanaged. So I'm just going to say that. I think they did not do a good job at getting depth and growing the guys behind them. They ran with the, experience that was Adam Randall. And he did great, had 1,000 yards, was, a guy that had never played the position in college before, but they didn't really do the guys behind them service and getting them real live action reps when it matters. So a lot of green, kind of in that backfield next to whoever eventually starts at quarterback, ultimately getting that nod. And then the quarterback position. And I don't want to say it's a weakness, but it is a big unknown. Like we just truly do not know. We've seen one game where Christopher Vizina started, and that's against an SMU team that, pretty good, and he threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. I'd say that's great, but why is there all this hoopla and excitement about a true freshman if that's as good as people might think it is on a daily basis there? So those are obviously two positions that you're really going to be locked in and just kind of see what are they going to be.
Before you go, and by the way, I'm glad you mentioned the show because we had Aaron on the show last week, and I noticed it had been a while since y'all uploaded an episode, but I see that you got episodes live and ready in link coming up starting tonight here just in about 45 minutes. The first one will go live talking about Georgia over at Mac and Murray CFB show on YouTube. So go subscribe up with Eric and Aaron Murray. So the next 3 days, I see you already got episodes scheduled to come up. So make sure you go get those on YouTube. Okay, before you go, ACC as a whole, I look at it, and Miami's the obvious. What else is there in that league that, outside looking in, could be a contending team?
Yeah, I think when you look at these guys, man, and you see like who's going to rise up to be the true number two, or even the are they good enough to be in the first tier? I think there is a gap with Miami, as you said. Are there a couple of teams good enough to be in that second tier where we see, okay, are they fighting for a playoff spot? I think SMU is a really good answer there. Kevin Jennings has been electric. If he can just stay healthy, which he's dealing with like a throwing hand index finger right now in camp, which is not great. I do think Clemson's good enough to be back in that discussion. I think Louisville is going to be really good. They have a fun matchup Sunday night of week 1 against Ole Miss in Nashville. And then can a team like NC State or Georgia Tech, really be that? There's some more question marks with Georgia Tech. They bring in, Fernando Mendoza's brother from Indiana. A lot of excitement with him in camp right now. What he brings to the table, a much better, passer down the field, it looks like, than maybe they had a year ago. And then NC State with C.J. Bailey, I mean, that's as talented as a quarterback as there is in the country. Big, strong dude. Again, 3rd year as a starting quarterback there. A lot of excitement for the Wolfpack, and it's something where I think they're going to catch some people by surprise this year.
And I got to get your address so I can send Henry McLean his first LSU onesie. His first,
whatever it takes. We'll take an offer from there. NIL's good, I hear.
But with that, well done. With that class of 2040.
That's right. 44, 45, something like that.
Class of 2044. Lane Kiffin should be celebrating, what his 5th, 6th national title at LSU at that point, something like that.
That's right.
Hey, man, congrats again. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, I'll be in Baton Rouge, so I hope I see you guys.
Are you coming in for the game?
We're making it happen.
Perfect. Let's be in touch. We'll connect late in the week or on that Saturday, however we got to do it. We'll make sure we connect, okay?
No doubt.
All
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric. We'll see you, man. That's Eric McLean, former Clemson Tiger, and now the ACC Network. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Man, I love telling you about Dr. Blake Williamson. And he's just, not only is he incredible at what he does, I've told you that all the time. I mean, he's a world-renowned ophthalmologist, quite literally. I just told you a week ago or so, 2 weeks ago, he was down in Australia presenting because he was the first in the world to do a certain type of procedure that they're now implementing in Australia. So they flew him there to go present at this conference on this thing that he was the first ever to do. And he's here in Baton Rouge. That's why people come from all over the region and everywhere to see Dr. Blake Williamson. We have the best. But he's also just a genuinely great dude. I texted him earlier today to see if he could help. He's willing to mentor a family friend. He's just an awesome dude, man. And you'll get it when you spend 2 minutes with Dr. Blake Williamson instantly. His bedside manner is outstanding. He's exceptional at what he does. Eye care, eyewear, eye surgery. You want the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I got a quick break. We'll come back and we'll continue. Kellen Moore met with reporters after practice earlier today. In addition to updating the injury to Cam Jordan's hamstring, talked a little bit more. And something else I thought was fascinating was this conversation about sort of the most indispensable player for the New Orleans Saints this year outside of Tyler Shough. I have a thought, and we'll get yours as well. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. And at Clegg's Nursery, they now have Buckbusters in stock at all 4 locations. Y'all ready for deer season? It is time to get ready with Buckbusters over at Clegg's Nursery. So get by any of the 4 locations and stock up and start getting ready to bag that trophy buck this hunting season. Clegg's Nursery is ready. They're going to get mow bucks and deer corn in soon. And when they do, we'll let you know. But Buckbusters is in, so you can get it at Clegg's Nursery. Tell you all the time to bypass the big box stores. Buy local and shop local. Go see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. If it's flowers and plants and trees and shrub, or mulch or soil, bag, bulk, outdoor decor, they have it all. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery. Better coverage for less money. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450. You can call them right now. Grab your phone, 293-0450 or lainsurance.net. Call Adam, Jay, the whole team over at Insurance Network of Louisiana. The process is simple, and when I say it's free, like, that's not hyperbole. Like, they will go shop dozens of the top-rated companies for free to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. So one of two things happens. Either they find you better coverage and you switch and save money on your insurance and get better coverage, or they say, hey, we couldn't find you anything better, stick with what you got. But either way, you know it's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call right now. They're open. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
That's what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Good work today. This is a day in training camp where you got to remind yourself you're still in training camp. It's hot. There's no fans. We're outside coming off an off day, and so I thought it was really good work. Our guys have to test themselves and get in these uncomfortable situations, and so I thought it was good work.
Kellen Moore meeting with reporters after practice on Tuesday. Saints are steamrolling toward their first preseason game of 2026 this Saturday in the Dome, 3 o'clock against Jacksonville. And by the way, the Saints and Jags are going to start joint practices this week. Kellen Moore talked about Jacksonville coming in for those. It's number 9. Muse talked about Jacksonville coming in for those joint practices.
Yeah, this would be great to work with those guys. Great group of guys. Known Liam for a little while, and he did a phenomenal job last year with these guys. And so I think it's just going to be great work for our guys. We're going to get a few days like this with some teams that are probably expecting really big time seasons. With Jacksonville, Dallas, and LA. And so this is going to be the first. It'll be great. It'll be here. We'll get some really good work.
The Saints, as you heard him mentioned, all 3 preseason opponents, the Saints will do joint practices. Now, remember, it is as sure as water is wet and grass is green and the sky is blue, there are fights when there are joint practices. It's an inevitable thing. The level of competition ramps up. Guys get a little ornery when you start getting into camp, full contact, and all that sort of stuff. So really the only thing that I hope to see in these joint practices is you come out of it healthy. Just come out of it healthy. And then after that, you hope that they, as you heard Kellen say there, that they get good work, getting a different look at other teams throughout this work. So instead of just continuing to hit and sort of bang on each other, you get to go hit somebody else, get a different look. Instead of running pass rush drills against your teammates, you get to run it against another team. So like all that, if coaches didn't perceive a benefit, they wouldn't do it. And so I like that they're going to do it because there's a perceived benefit. Just stay healthy. So as those practices go, we'll certainly keep you posted throughout the remainder of the week. Ross Jackson will be here in 38 minutes from right now. We'll get his take not only on practice today, but kind of a what to expect there with the Saints and the Jaguars working together for the remainder of this week before Saturday's preseason game. It's interesting that earlier today I saw this piece that I think it was over at ESPN. They kind of listed every team's non-quarterback MVP. And it got me thinking, like, I don't really know how to answer that because everybody's answer of what is an MVP is different. Is it the best or most valuable or the most, the best statistical player or the most indispensable? And I kind of thought of it like, well, because they listed Chase Young for the Saints. And I think Chase Young probably is the best defensive player for New Orleans. He's 27 years old. We all know the history. Former number 2 overall pick, defensive rookie of the year. The injuries came, never really ascended to that level again. He gets traded to San Francisco and then comes to New Orleans in free agency. He had the neck injury when he first got here. At the beginning of last season, they didn't start him on IR, which was a mistake, quite honestly, because you lost that roster spot because he didn't return within 4 weeks. But in any event, even with missing that first quarter of the season, Chase Young still ended up with double-digit sacks. You've got him on an extended contract now, and he looks like maybe not the guy he did at Ohio State or as a rookie, but he looks like one of the elite edge rushers in the NFL, which is what you're paying him to be. He looks awesome, and he probably is your best defensive player. I don't think that's hyperbole. I think Chase Young is the Saints' best defensive player. If DeMario Davis were back, I think we could have that conversation, and DeMario probably would be that. And Cam Jordan is a future Pro Football Hall of Famer, but I don't think Cam playing roughly half the defensive snaps qualifies. I don't think anybody at the second level this year or in your secondary would be in that conversation. So I do think that Chase Young is your best defensive player, but I don't think he's your most indispensable player. Because if Chase Young, God forbid, knock on Formica, were to go down or miss time or whatever, like, I think New Orleans has shown that they've got capable players or players capable of generating a pass rush. I mean, Cam Jordan last year had a 10-sack season playing roughly half the defensive snaps. You have someone who's capable there. Carl Granderson last year, playing opposite Chase Young and really not your elite edge rusher, had 6 sacks a year ago. And then you got guys at the second level who are capable of maybe giving you that as well, Caden Ellis. So I think you can generate a pass rush even if you don't have the one guy like Chase Young who might be a 12 to 15 sack guy. Again, I'm not saying it's easy to replace Chase Young, but I think you can still generate a pass rush and be good at the edge spots without it. And as I kind of look at both sides of the ball, I mean, the answer is Tyler Shough, but I'm saying outside of quarterback. I don't think it's Chris Olave, and this isn't a bang on Chris Olave segment, but you drafted Jordan Tyson 9th overall. If Chris Olave went down or was out for whatever reason, again, knock on Formica, God forbid, but the assumption would be Tyson should be able to fill right in and be your number 1. That's why I used the 9th pick of the draft on it. He is dynamic. He's explosive. I saw Nick Underhill earlier today tweet this. It was a great tweet, and it's a great reminder of what the Saints have or should have in Chris Olave or in Jordan Tyson. He tweeted, I'm trying to wait for it to load. He said, this is just a little while ago. Nick Underhill tweeted, "Stop overreacting to everything good or bad we see until we see the team against another opponent. The only thing I know for sure is that Jordan Tyson is a dog. Other than that, just wait and see." Okay, so my point is, as we're going through this conversation, that I don't think Chris Olave is irreplaceable. Very good player, got the contract, all that stuff. My point is, if you lose Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson should be able to step up into that role. That's why you drafted him 9th overall. The one that I think is irreplaceable is Kelvin Banks. Follow the train of thought. If you lose Kelvin Banks, what happens? Well, most likely, I don't know this definitively, but most likely you would take Taliesin Fuaga, move him to left tackle. And then you'd plug in whoever is next at right tackle. However the depth chart would start to manage. Okay? And the Saints did release the depth chart, by the way. They have Banks at left tackle and Asim Richards next, followed by Alan Heron. At right tackle, it's Tali Fuaga, then Xavier Truss, Barry Wesley, and Alex Wolschlager. How does that make you feel? So, if you lose Banks, Asim Richards is the backup left tackle. If you say, okay, it's too important, we're moving Fuaga from right to left, okay, then what do you have at right tackle? Then you've got Xavier Truss. My point is, I've seen this movie. Like, I've seen what it looks like when you have a talented young player at quarterback and talent all around him, but you can't protect him and give him time to throw. That's Joe Burrow the first 2 years with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, you got to protect your quarterback. So, for all that they've done to supplement this offense, Olave's contract, drafting Jordan Tyson, Bryce Lance, Travis Etienne, Berrien Brown, all of it. Oscar Delp, Noah Fant, all the weapons they have. It don't matter if your quarterback is on his back looking at the top of the dome every Sunday. You got to protect him. And if you lose Kelvin Banks, you're kind of screwed because you suck after that. You suck. You got no option. Now, I get it. Like, I don't think that there's any team in the NFL that's losing their starting left tackle. Like, no worries, we've got an all-pro waiting in the wings. But this is a bad situation for New Orleans behind your two starters at tackle. So, and for what that means for this offense, I think that's the most indispensable player of this team outside of Tyler Shough. Because if you can't protect Shough, then the offense can't run. And if the offense doesn't run, you're right back in the same boat you were a season ago for the first 8 games with Spencer Rattler, where you can't score, you can't win games, you're 1-8, and you're looking around going, what are we? So, 71. Looking for a big year 2 out of Kelvin Banks. And hopefully he delivers it. Hopefully he stays healthy. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. Remember, y'all, we live in the mold capital of the world. It is wet. It is humid. That is a breeding ground for mold. And if you look up at your ceiling and you start to see a water spot, maybe you think you're not sure if you have mold, chances are that water spot didn't just start leaking today. So you've probably had an active leak for days, weeks, months. Well, every time it gets wet and then humid, breeding ground for mold. Let Parish Restoration help you out. Mold remediation done right the first time. It's Parish Restoration. They'll come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's cost-effective. It's effective. It's efficient. They can fog your home in half a day. Whether it's commercial or residential buildings, they do it all at Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. One of the things Lane Kiffin talked about a day ago was the young interior defensive linemen and sort of how they project this season for his team. Tigers will be back on the practice field here in a couple hours. I want to revisit some of what Lane said and react to it. We'll do it next on AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential. Think real estate. Think Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Agent225.com for Darren James. Of course, you can always call Darren James as well. And remember, when you call Darren James, you're calling a realtor that's on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. This isn't an opinion. It's not some subjective list. This is based on the number of homes sold. Quite literally, no realtor in the state of Louisiana gets to a closing table more often than Darren James. So if you need to sell your home, hire the realtor that quite literally sells more homes than any other realtor in the state of Louisiana. Call Darren James. Here's his number. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need the best, you want Darren James. Log on to agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Take it to the barn, put it up for the night. Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio on. She says she's got a dream, and I ask what it is. She wants a little farm and a yard full of kids, and one more teeny weeny ride.
You just got to confirm if that's right. I don't believe this is real.
It is on every major news outlet, like national news too, like not just sports. Because I did the same thing. I was like, there's no way that's real.
Okay, like I'm looking at ESPN.com on the WNBA page, and I do not see it there.
Here it is right here in the New York Post, TMZ, Fox News, Yahoo Sports.
Like, is it possible this is AI?
To dupe all those major news organizations?
Absolutely.
All of them?
Yes, absolutely. We live in an awful time where
we do live in an awful time.
Well, I think we live in a wonderful time. I love being alive in this time in the world and in our world's history. I mean, in a time for news organizations with AI, people generally, and especially the general public, don't know what's real, what's fake. It's very hard to determine what is real, what is fake, what is AI, what is what's a parody account. I mean, people get duped all the time. So what we're talking about is Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter has declared for the WNBA draft.
Yes.
Enes Kanter played at Kentucky, and had an NBA stint, I guess. I don't know his whole history there.
Yeah, he played for the Thunder. And
you're looking it up?
Yeah. I mean,
did he have a good career? I don't remember anything Enes Kanter did when he left. Let's see. Drafted by the Utah Jazz. So he played for the Jazz and then the Thunder, the Knicks, the Blazers, Celtics. Bounced around. Played a good
11 years.
Yeah, played a good long while. Did he ever have a good season anywhere? I don't know. I just didn't actually care to follow Enes Kanter's career. But anyway, Kanter is now 34 years old. And he was born in Switzerland, and Fox News, New York Post, BBC. I guess whatever, saying that he's declared for the WNBA draft. I mean, it's absurd, and the WNBA is absurd. Like I said, I don't care if you want to cancel me for this. Whatever. The WNBA is something I will give none of my attention to whatsoever. I love all people, and I support. I try to be Christ to others. I'm a human. I fail in many endeavors, like we all do. And I will love my fellow man and do my best to do that. I also believe that the notion that a biological man should be able to play against women is absurd beyond measure. And the fact that you have owners in the WNBA supporting that idea and fans booing a player for coming out against that, I don't have anything in common with that league, so I will give none of my headspace or thought process or attention at all to the WNBA. So, like, quite literally, they can go kick rocks and I don't care. So if Enes Kanter wants to go play in the WNBA because he's a biological man and they're going to let him in, whatever. It's the absurdity of that league. Like, how is an owner criticizing Sophie Cunningham for saying that men shouldn't play against women? It's one of the stupidest things that just defies logic. And I actually am proud of us societally for overwhelmingly recognizing that. And instead of worrying about being canceled, like putting our foot down and saying that is just stupid. So that is just an absurd thing to suggest. So, yeah, good. I mean, if Enes Kanter plays for the WNBA, great. But the WNBA will get literally none of my headspace. And again, with nothing but love for human beings and humankind from all background and whatever, right? But that's just a stupid thing to suggest, that men should play against women. It is a fundamentally absurd, stupid thing to suggest. So, anyway, All right, it's after further review. I wanted to talk in this segment about LSU's defensive line because that's way more interesting, but I saw that Enes Kanter thing. I can't believe that's real. So are they going to let him get drafted?
I have no idea. I mean, they gotta have to, don't they?
Is he saying he's a woman?
Brother, I don't know. I haven't dug that
He's
deep
changing his name
it.
to Anissa Kanter?
I mean, I haven't dug that deep into it either.
But you realize how stupid this is?
Yes, that's why I haven't dug deep into it.
I'm quite certain that 99.6% of the people listening right now agree with me. Like that, that everyone knows this is stupid, and maybe he's just making a mockery of the whole thing.
I think that's his point. I think that's his point.
Because it's stupid.
Yes.
It is stupid. And somewhere along the way, who's the dopey old lady who's the owner of that team who was criticizing Sophie Cunningham for saying that? I don't know her name. How irrelevant she is.
I don't know.
But the fact that you have a league that supports that type of behavior, I have nothing aligned with that league whatsoever. If you're going to criticize a player for saying men shouldn't play against women, then I've got nothing for you. So whatever. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us. Man, I'm gonna have to bump this segment because I'm gonna run out of time. But let me give you something of benefit here that you might find interesting. Lane Kiffin, did y'all play the day-night soundbite yesterday?
No.
Okay, so Lane Kiffin was asked at his press conference yesterday about because if you notice, they practiced on Monday morning, and now here on Tuesday they're practicing in the evening. So he's kind of alternating day-night. And so he was asked, have you done that before, and why do you do that?
Yeah, we have. We came up with it, and I think really explaining it to too much length is a little bit competitive disadvantage because I don't think a lot of people do it. But there's a lot of thought into that, and it's very player-friendly for the long term of camp and for the long term of the season.
Okay. You know what I thought of when I heard Lain say that? During the spring, he was asked a question about Nick Saban. Maybe you can find this, Muse. He was asked a question about Saban, and as Lain is often wont to do, his answers aren't necessarily an answer to the question asked. It's a platform and a launching pad for him to talk about whatever he wants. And what he ended up saying was, as he's gotten on in his career, and I'm paraphrasing, he's become obsessed with the process of going about winning and finding he said something to the effect of, it's why I'm up here all the time, meaning the facility. And that's when he was still on social media, and he's tweeting pictures of the coffee pot at 4 a.m., and he's leaving the building at 10:30 at night. And that was very Saban-esque. Who was telling me? They used to, when Saban was the coach at LSU, they used to call it the Green Mile. Because it's once you entered, nobody ever left. Because Saban had him up there all the time. And that's what this staff is going through right now with Kiffin. This camp is very different from last year under Brian Kelly. There's just so many more demands on the staff. But it's Lane's obsession with finding every minute advantage that could make you a fraction of a percent better. That could be the difference between winning on a walk-off field goal or losing by a point. And those are the things that separated Saban and made him the greatest coach ever, was the obsession with finding the advantage in the margins. And I think Lain, this day-night thing, which he didn't go into great detail to explain, because he said it would be a competitive disadvantage, giving away the secret as to why they do it. But clearly they found something in the way they practice and how they schedule that helps them throughout not only camp, but throughout the season. You got a guy that learned from the best, that is still in this part of his career at 51 years old, that is madly obsessed with winning and being the greatest, and he has yet to scale that mountain. It's why he's here, because he feels like he will have every advantage to get to the top of the mountain at this place. And this is just another illustration of it. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. Speaking of the Tigers, Hancock Whitney Bank is the official banking partner of the LSU Tigers. Hancock Whitney also the official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints. If you want to be an official card-carrying member of Tiger Nation or of the Houdat Nation, you can, thanks to Hancock Whitney, you can have your official LSU debit card or your official New Orleans Saints debit card. The Saints one, you can get black or gold. And LSU, they got a purple one, which is awesome. If you want to check it out, you can get by any Hancock Whitney location or log on. They gave us our own custom URL, HancockWhitney.com/Matt. My name, M-A-T-T. HancockWhitney.com/Matt is where you can go. HancockWhitney.com/Matt to learn more. They got more than 220 ATMs across the region. So if you're traveling this football season, Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, you're sure to find a Hancock Whitney branch near you. HancockWhitney.com/Matt to learn more. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Final break of hour number 2. We'll come back. Mucilev Tigers and the pros. Ross Jackson in 15 minutes to give us a Saints camp report. We still got a ton to do, so don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you want to look and feel your best, our friends at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do that. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. I'll tell you, if you heard, I had an appendectomy this weekend. And one of the things I've recommended to a lot of people over the years that I'm doing myself right now is using BPC 157, which I've injected locally in my back. It's for muscle and tissue repair to help with my back pain. But right now I'm injecting it near the incision points where I had my procedure on Saturday. So it will recruit healing agents and literally heal your tissues, your muscle and your tissue faster. So if you're post-operative, I would recommend call Gabe over at Goodwood, ask, hey, could BPC 157 help me recover faster from surgery? It's worth having that conversation. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. Explore what peptide therapy can do for you. YourGoodwood.com. If you need dinner plans tonight, get on by Supper Club. I'll be at Supper Club tomorrow night. Thankfully, I had my appendectomy over the weekend. Gave me plenty of time to recover for my Supper Club dinner on Wednesday. I'm going with my friends from Bocock Brothers. So Bryant and Doug Bocock will be in town from Houston. Fired up about that. We're about to unveil the new Bocock Brothers LSU Tiger box, and we're going to celebrate with dinner at Supper Club. So for whatever reason, it's a great reason to go to Supper Club. Maybe it's a birthday. Maybe it's an anniversary. Maybe you're celebrating a promotion. Maybe you just want a night out. Supper Club is the spot. Now, remember, they're open tonight. They're open Tuesday to Saturday. And, yes, reservations are always recommended but not required because they got open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. So pop on into Supper Club and have a great dinner tonight at Supper Club. On Perkins, near Bluebonnet, supperclubbtr.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along. She likes the way it's pulling while we're tilling up the land. She's even kind of crazy about my farmer's tan. She's the only one.
Yeah? What we got?
Love that Hank Williams.
No. Senior or junior?
Yep.
Neither of them.
Muso! Tigers and the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Our guy Cam Sanders got recalled by the Baltimore Orioles up from AAA.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Shouts out, Cam. Was put into the game last night as well. 2 shutout innings of relief. First out of the pen. Did punch out a hitter as well. Did not issue any walks. Great outing for Cam Sanders. We love to see that. Man, it is it has just been a really tough season for Alex Lain. And last night was no different. Locked in a tie, 5-5, 7th inning. Lain's into the game for the Royals against the visiting Dodgers. And gave up the decisive run in that one. 1 inning, 3 hits, the run. Got tagged with the loss. 1-7 for Alex Lain this year, man. He was cruising early in his career, and the injuries have really kind of set him back there the last couple of seasons. Hopefully he can get back on track. Speaking of getting back on track, Paul Skeens is going to be on the bump tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Skeens kind of needs to get back on track himself. 9-10, an ERA approaching 4 at 3.96. Strikeout number good, walk number good. He's just been hit around a lot, and the defense hasn't helped him out very much either. He'll be on the mound against the Marlins in Miami.
Is the stupid World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. Terry and I were talking about that a little bit last Friday when you were out, and
Did y'all mention World Baseball Classic?
We did. Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's just
he needs to skip a few starts.
Yeah.
Just let him chill for a minute. Go sit down. Just recover. And then get back on the horse. But a normal offseason without the World Baseball Classic, he'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, especially because it's not out of the realm of possibility they make the third wild card in the NL. So get him healthy and ready to go.
Yeah.
WNBA action last night. Anissa Morrow and Angel Reese faced off. Angel had a double-double, 20 and 14, because of course she did. 50% from the floor. Anissa Morrow, 11 points off the bench. And then Flau'jae Johnson, she sat out the Storm's victory last night, dealing with a left ankle injury. Keep you posted there. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Remember, you can always go by the Relief Windows showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. If you're going south on Airline, you pass Highway 42, about a quarter mile on the right. You can't miss it. Beautiful facility. You can go in, see any of their associates there at Relief Windows, and they can show you 3D modeling of your home. So if you, I'm very visual. I don't think I could look at a window panel and just visualize what that would look like for my entire home, or a panel of siding and think what that would look like on my entire home. So they can use 3D modeling and show you what a 3D model of what your home would look like with the windows, doors, siding, shutter shade. It's awesome. It's Relief Windows. And remember, they never take $1 from you until they're done and you're finished. Relief Windows, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I got a text from Alex who said, Matt, if you can go back to night one of the draft, would you rather Mansour Lain or keep Jordan Tyson? Well, Mansour Lain was picked before Jordan Tyson, so you didn't have the option of drafting Mansour Lain. But if you gave me the pick, I would take Mansour Lain, not because I want the LSU guy. I just think corner is a greater need for the New Orleans Saints than another high-priced receiver. Now, don't get me wrong. I am thrilled to have Jordan Tyson. I think he's explosive and dynamic. Nick Underhill tweeted earlier, one certainty is he's a dude. And I'm very excited to watch Jordan Tyson. Two things can be true. But I went into the draft thinking corner was a much bigger need at that spot. Yes, they needed a dynamic receiver, but corner.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Remember, at Shaw Bills, they're going to work hard to get you the best price. And what they'll do is they'll take the manufacturer's offer and then combine it with their in-house offer to get you the best price on tires. And these aren't just off-brands. We're talking Michelin, Bridgestone, Firestone, BF Goodrich, Toyo, the best tires on the road. They're going to get you the best price. So if you're curious what I'm talking about, go to the website, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Hit the promotions tab right at the top of the page, and you'll see all of the specials that they have on every tire there. You can search by year, make, model, body, style, price, all right there at ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling.